TBTL.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Hey Dummies. I'm Andrew and I will be your dummy today. As you well know by this point, this is the TBTL video that we put in the TBTL weekly newsletter where we answer your questions. You can email me your questions, andrew@tbtl.net. Put Hey Dummies in the subject line. Then in the body of the email, you just ask us a question. It can be about anything. I would love to get more questions from you guys. Having said all of that, I'm not answering a question today. Instead, I just want to share with you something that came into my possession this week. I have not, as I record this video right now, I have not told John and Luke this story yet. My plan is to tell them about this on Friday's podcast. So you may or may not know what's coming right now. But earlier this week, I was assigned by one John Sklaroff to go to a store called Bead World, not far out of my neighborhood here. It's exactly between where I live now and where I used to live, and it's on Roosevelt Way Northeast here in Seattle. It's called Bead World, and the reason I had to go there is because, as I'm guessing you heard, Luke, John, and I are planning on making hundreds, no, more like over 1,000 friendship bracelets with TBTL slogans on them as a thank you gift to everybody who donates during the upcoming TBTL-a-thon, which starts in about a week, guys, July 8th. If you donate at any level, you will receive a handmade by one of us, the TBTL Cobros, a friendship bracelet. Now, we have various sayings that are going to be on those bracelets. We have not revealed what they're going to be yet, but I will tell you this. One of the words or sayings on these bracelets is going to contain the word H. And when John ordered all of the beads from an online retailer, he realized that he could not order the letter H for some reason. They were all out of the letter H. We don't know why. So I had to go to Bead World to pick up 400 beads with the letter H on them. I'd never been to Bead World before, and I walked in earlier this week, and it was wonderful. A whole big store dedicated to nothing but beads and beading crafts, which was right up my alley. They had the little baggie of H's waiting for me, along with something else. Give me one moment here as I grab this bag from Bead World. It was a trip. I walk in there, and a very nice young person behind the counter somehow, just by looking at me, said, "Are you here for the H's?" And I honestly still do not know how this person knew that. I think I might have started to say, "Hi, I'm," and they said, "Oh, you here for the H's?" I'm like, "I certainly am." Now, John had made the phone call about this about a week ago. I don't know how this person knew that I was the person looking for the H's, but while this person is counting out 400 H's for me, they had like a bag of probably 1,000 H's, and they were like measuring them out using a scale because they know how much they weigh or something. It was really impressive. This person said to me, "Oh, also, somebody dropped this off for you. And it's an envelope." And I said, "What do you mean somebody dropped it off for you?" And they're like, I don't know. And they're counting their beads. They're like, "I don't know. Somebody left it for you." I'm like, "Somebody left it for me?" And so I open up this envelope. It says to Andrew Walsh right there on the side of it. Inside is a few things. A card that says, "Andrew, best of luck on your bracelet making endeavor. A couple of tips as you embark on this adventure. Number 1, pre-stretch your string." Sounds like personal advice there. Number 2, a dab of clear nail polish on the knot does wonders for making these things last. That's good to know. Number 3, John is so wrong. And that's how it ends. No. It says, "John is so wrong. There is no way my children's tiny hands could make those knots." We must have been talking on the show about how we need kids with little hands to help us make these bracelets and then tie them up at the end. And then it's signed, "No mountain too tall, Danielle Walsh," from here in Seattle, Washington. And what else is in this envelope are 3 handmade friendship bracelets that say, and I can't hold it up to the camera in a way that you can actually read it, they say "Business Boys" on them. And we got 3 of them here. So Danielle must have heard us talking on the podcast last week. I don't even remember saying that I was going to a place called Bead World. It must have come up on last Friday's show, and Danielle's like, I know where Bead World is. I'm going to make some friendship bracelets for Luke, John, and Andrew that say business boys on them, and surprise Andrew with an envelope waiting for him when he arrives at Bead World on Tuesday, which is exactly what happened. So, Danielle, thank you for the Business Boys bracelets. Thank you for the advice within the card that you left me. Thank you also to the folks at Bead World who could not have been nicer, friendlier, and more helpful. Here is the bag of H's. Trying to let it focus there. Can you see that bag of H's? It says Andrew, 400 pieces. H's there. Also, I'm like, hey, do you guys have any of those bead spinners? I've never made these before, but I heard bead spinners can help. And then a woman behind the counter who I'm taking to be the owner says, oh, no. She had a very Catherine O'Hara look to Catherine O'Hara or Catherine O'Hara? Catherine O'Hara, right? She looked a bit like Catherine O'Hara, and she said, oh, no, we don't have any of those. But then the person who was helping me count out the beads said, actually, we do. We have a couple of them over there. And they ran over and they grabbed some. And so apparently Spin and String is one of the bead makers, and here's a smaller one here. One is wooden and plastic, and the other one is one of them is big and wooden, and the other one is smaller and plastic. And the woman behind the counter, who I assume owns the place, maybe is just a manager, but I think owns the place, says, this small one, you're not going to be able to do much with this. You can just have that. She just gave this one to me. And I have seeing these things makes me more nervous about this project than ever. I have no idea. They're talking to me like I know how these things are supposed to work. They start talking about how they need special needles. So I'm like, well, I don't have any special needles. So they sold me some sort of a special needle for the bigger one, but I don't even think I have a special needle for the smaller one. But more importantly, I don't know what the needles do. I don't know how to make friendship bracelets. Somehow, while I was in Bead World, surrounded by beads and bead aficionados, I realized truly for the first time the ridiculousness of this adventure, because I'm trying to nod along and talk to them like I understand what I'm up against, when literally I have not made a friendship bracelet since I was like 10 years old or younger than that. I did notice that the first person who was helping me, I think, gave me a sheet maybe on how to make these things. It was one of the people there told me, don't make a square knot. A square knot is the wrong way to do it. You need to make just a traditional over-under knot, or maybe it was a under-over knot. I really don't know, because I am not a bead-a-knot. But this is what we will be learning about during the TBTON in about a week, starting on July 8th, as Luke, John, and I endeavor to make, I don't know, 1,500 bracelets. We're going to make one for every single person who donates. So the more people who donate, the more bracelets we have to make. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Please, again, send us any questions you want answered. I know I didn't get to one today, but I will soon. And in the meantime, pray for us. We're going to need your help and guidance. We've already received a lot of guidance from you guys about how to make these things, and I do appreciate that. And, sooner rather than later, I think I better learn how to make a friendship bracelet. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope it's sunny where you are. Hope you're having a great summer. We'll talk to you on Monday.